the important part of my message today in my presentation was the economic dimension of cloud computing, and going from the classical trend in IT industry that every new paradigm is a technology-driven one. I think the fundamental difference cloud computing provides is that it's an economic paradigm shift. It's not a technology paradigm shift. All the base technologies like virtualization, systems management had been there, but the intelligent application of this kind of technologies in a very effective way from a systems management perspective, from a cost model, and by separation of let's say responsibilities between the provider and the consumer of an IT service is a fundamental shift from my perspective, and this was basically the core of my talk. It's like the transformation 150 years ago that basically industry used to have their own energy production on site in a way, and the availability of the electricity grid and the efficiency improvement by central utilities basically provided a new way of companies leveraging this kind of innovation to be more effective in producing stuff. One of the core drivers around the evolution and innovation around data centers is energy efficiency in a way, and one of the classical things is that you have in any classical data center a huge building which at the beginning you don't know how big should it be. Should it be, let's say, the size of the building like you need it in 5 years from now, or should it be the size you really need it right now? And so the Generation 4 data center concept, which I talked about, is basically keeping the physical security safeguards with all the kind of security safeguards you have with a classical building, but take away the cost associated and the inefficiency associated by creating a concrete shell where those kind of infrastructure services like servers, network infrastructure, energy distribution, and so on is being located. So this is one thing. The second one is that the unit of provisioning IT services is going more and more into kind of container-sized activity. I do think that we will see an evolution in IT industry, that governments, customers, consumers of services will have a clear understanding what is the requirement around my data, be it from the regulatory side or from my control side in a way, and decide appropriately, do they want to run their system then on-premise, maybe in a community cloud by some public sector organizations, or even if the data is very, let's say, publicly available, like data covered by the European Public Sector Information Directive, then it can be hosted in the most economic way in a public cloud in a way. So I do think that there will be a fine, gradual and continuous shift between the different deployment models, call it this way, how applications and data will be hosted.